Welcome to the Good Soup Live.
Good Soup Live. All I ever think about is Good Soup Live. Wonder what they'll talk about. Then again, ginger snaps, finger cuffs, where you at? Straight out of New Jersey. The Good Soup Live. All I ever think about is Good Soup Live. Wonder what they'll talk about. Then again, ginger snaps, finger cuffs, where you at? Straight out of New Jersey. The Good Soup Live.
The Good Soup is live at the one and only Smart Castle in Leonardo, New Jersey.
Welcome to the Good Soup live stream. I am your host, A Dented Can. To my right is my beautiful wife, Angelina, aka Ginger Snaps, and to her right is the one and only Finger Cuffs, aka Cousin Johnny, aka Dented Batman.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
wait till you see the new merch, bud.
Good evening, everybody.
How's everybody doing today? We have upgraded our status here on the Smod Castle. Now we actually have a laptop to be able to watch your comments.
Yeah, but I took my glasses off, so I can't see anything. So yeah, I'm just straight blind. It's not helping anybody.
So Angie has a blur. Hi, Facebook user. We don't have names coming up.
That might be from Twitch.
It says
Oh,
Facebook.
okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Hola, what's up, bitches?
What's up, bitches?
So now we're like official now. I feel like, right?
All right.
I feel like
Yeah.
we're in a better shape than we were. As always, this show is brought to you in part by Hetty Candles, and I actually have their T-shirt. I have one that'll fit like a 9-year-old.
That'll
Right,
fit our
yes.
6-year-old.
So Hetty Candles, check them out at hettycandles.com. Use coupon code Good Soup at checkout for 20% off your order. And as always, we are here to support Child's Play charity. They're doing awesome work. They're in 185 hospitals, giving video games to kids in hospitals. So check them out, childsplaycharity.org.
Yes. Awesome.
Look at that, I nailed it today.
Yes,
For the
you
first
did.
time
You're a
ever,
little-
I
you're a
crushed
little-
it.
Good job, man. Good job.
You were a little spastic last week.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
last week I decided it was a good idea to take like an 80 milligram edible before the show, and
Yeah.
it didn't really work out.
I
the way I hoped.
carried you on my back. I felt like
I felt
did
like
good.
I felt like I dropped the ball last week and spent the rest of the show trying to pick it up, kicking it around stage, and you just coasted it for me. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. This week you locked yourself out of the brand new laptop, so there's that.
That happened about 3 seconds before we went
Yeah.
live. I couldn't get in my laptop. What's going on, Mr. Mortz?
So, John, how is your gym journey going?
It is going pretty good. Yesterday I went, but I only went a mile, and so but I did it fast.
I'm
So
watching
afraid
your
I'm gonna-
minutes get better and better
Yeah.
every
This
day
one
with
was-
your posts.
This one was only 20 minutes. Over
But you
a
did the
mile,
same mile.
But I was, on a crazy incline and like 3.5.
Are you feeling better?
Cousin Johnny never misses leg day. All right, he never misses leg day.
I'm afraid I'm gonna hurt myself, but I'm gonna keep going. But I didn't post that one because it wasn't like
You weren't looking pretty afterwards?
it wasn't as far as the other one, so I didn't want to look
Were
stupid.
you huffing and puffing at the end?
A little
Hey.
bit? Yes, I was.
I want to share something exciting with you. So this week, we also joined the gym, and this week
We
I
joined
made it.
the gym a few weeks ago. We just don't go.
I made it 3/4 of the way to the gym parking lot before I stopped at Taco Bell instead.
Yeah.
So I'm crushing it. I
I
feel like I'm
said-
doing great. I feel healthier.
I'm telling you, just
It's-
go, and the first time is rough, but just keep going.
Yeah, I've been
Change
working
that.
so much I can't get to the gym. By the time I pick our daughter up and I get home, the last thing I feel like doing is going into the gym and dealing with people's smelly asses and feet and just no.
Yeah, it is. It was a little crowded yesterday.
And it has a funk smell.
Yeah, but at least at Planet Fitness, you don't. It's not like Wow or what is it now, Jersey Strong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not dealing like GTL. It's
like-
not every dude from Seaside.
It's a
at the gym.
it's a no judgment zone. I think.
No,
No
judgment
judgment.
zone.
You grunt, the alarms go off and shit. Yeah.
There are some jack dudes. I mean, a couple of the dudes and a couple of the chicks are really good.
My
shapes.
favorite's when you get in there and you see the dude on the elliptical who's like,
Yeah, that's
Yo, don't even be jealous. Yeah, when she's so short that when she does the elliptical, it only moves like this much.
jump on
That's
it.
it. It's only like that because
yeah,
her
yeah,
her little
I
arms can
think
only.
I'm better off on that thing because the treadmill is hurting my knees.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
when you
well-
get old like us and yourself, we're all seasoned at
You're
this
young.
table.
You guys
I'm
are old.
young. I'm the same age as you, minus half a
Couple
decade.
years.
All right. So anyway, let's
We
jump
have
in.
some stuff to talk about
I
tonight.
have some stuff I need to talk about, and so this week was actually me and Angelina's third anniversary,
Wedding anniversary.
wedding anniversary on March 11th.
3 years
And,
married.
What was it? What did we do for our anniversary?
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you, we call this segment Angie's anniversary extravaganza. 'Cause it was-
Angie, are me or the dog? Stormy's anniversary extravaganza.
Yes. So, we wanted to go out to dinner at this really, it's one of those hidden restaurants that people don't really know is amazing, but turned out it's very, very
Camilleo's
good.
in Sayreville.
We're going to shout them out.
We're gonna shout them out. 'cause
We
the food was
charge for
damn
this
good.
stuff.
Yeah,
We charge to shout out random businesses.
I like their food. I
I'm
don't
kidding.
care.
No, Camilleo's in Sayreville. It's on MacArthur Avenue. They've been around forever, and they really are just that amazing. So before we went, I decided to, roll up a little something for me,
Yes.
and it was some very nice something. It was my anniversary present to myself for being such an amazing husband these last 3 years.
Oh,
yeah,
And have I not?
yeah. And we went out to. He left.
I left
his
it
joint
by
on the
accident
table.
on the living room table, right next to that candle, oddly enough. And because this sits in my living room because it's the coolest thing I've ever gotten in my whole life is the dented can candle. Anyway, so I left it sitting out there, man. And we go out to dinner. And when we get back, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hit that joint as soon as you walk in the door.
All
I
I
walk
wanted
in.
to do was go to sleep.
Yeah, she wanted to go to bed. I walk in and I'm looking at my dog, and I'm like,
We feed them dinner.
Yeah, so
and
let
she's
me-
a little off.
she's eating like this though. As she's eating, she's like bouncing slowly back, and I'm like, "What the fuck is up with you?" And she's like, "There's nothing." Then I look down, her feet are like her toesies are like
all
that,
like this.
and like if you go to pet her, she's like going like you go to pet her, and she's like fucking blinking and freaking out, like you're gonna beat her ass.
What kind of dog again?
A pet.
She's a pit.
She's a blue nose.
Yeah.
Oh, she can handle it.
Yeah. So
she's
yeah.
also stupid too.
So as
so.
it turns
That
out, she ate the joint.
She ate the joint, and we found out that dogs process regular raw THC
The same
like
as you would process.
and edible.
Yeah.
So, like, if we ate raw THC, we
Nothing
don't
would happen.
process it. It would just be us eating a plant, essentially. Dogs eat it and they get high. So our dog ate it, which in all the years he's had his medical card, the dog's
never
never
happened.
done anything,
Never
never
happened.
touched it, never and nothing. We go out for our freaking anniversary, and she's like, "Don't
We-
mind if I do it."
Yo,
Fuck.
the whole night went from an actual anniversary to worrying about the dog. I was on the phone
Drooly
with the vet.
McDrool face.
Yeah.
We call the vet. I'm up all night with the dog. I'm carrying her in a blanket. I'm taking her outside. I'm carrying an 80-pound pit bull
I'm still
down
pissed
the
that she.
stairs.
But I, in all fairness, and I hate doing this because I don't like to do too much with the cliche movie thing for where
Yeah.
we put on the show. But I will do it. I did look at the pit bull dead square in the face in the middle of the night and ask her. I was like, $15, little man. Told her to go get her fucking job.
So,
No, the vet said she'd
Wait
be
a
all
minute,
right.
Can I just back up? Wait a minute. So you're telling me that if you just take marijuana,
Mhm.
like raw weed,
Yes.
like, that you could roll and smoke,
Right.
yes,
if you just eat it, it won't do anything.
it
To
will not
us,
do
no,
anything. No,
so
not to humans.
what
But
happens is
I think I have to disagree with that because one time I had just a cheesy eighth,
and I can explain to you why you got high off of
put
it.
it in brownie mix.
Right. But when you
Baked
cooked
it.
it, that's because you
That's
cooked
because
it.
you
decarbed
decarbonated
it.
it.
Now,
Yes, there is a
that is
science
a-
to all of
That is
this.
a very inefficient way to do it because you're decarbing it and you'll make edibles, but they'll be weak as hell when you
No,
could
they
get
were
a.
actually really.
They were
it wasn't
potent.
Bad.
It was probably
like a
really good
bad
weed.
high. That's how it was
Yeah.
weird.
Is it paranoid? Like you're gonna
No,
die?
it was more like our legs didn't work.
Maybe I should try
I mean,
Johnny's
there's- yeah,
No, it
raw
was- it
dump
was-
edibles from next
that's
week.
like a Parkinson's
me
sign.
here.
That's not
it
okay.
wasn't cool.
But
No.
anyway, so with dogs though, they don't need it to be activated. Oddly enough,
And wait, it stores in their colon, so every time they eat, they get re-high again.
So the next
every
morning,
time we fed this fucking
she
dog,
got-
she got
she was
stoned
stoned
again.
again. Yo, I had to carry her outside to go to the bathroom.
And
But
that's
like,
80 pounds. That's a good size.
That's-
oh
that's a
yeah, she ain't small.
fat
But
Fat-headed
so
dog.
yeah, so that was interesting. Our anniversary was kind of a bust, but we had a really good weekend afterward, right?
Yeah,
I mean, kind of. We
Yeah.
kind of just hung out at the house and
Yeah.
decided not to break anything.
yeah. So there's that.
So Johnny, I want to talk to you about the video I showed you because we've been talking about every week. We have a little segment that we do about how frustrating ASMR is to my soul. that these people are that big. And I showed it to you. Remember
We did talk about this
with the guy?
before.
He was painting.
Yes,
Shaving cream,
Shaving
on,
cream
the
on a
microphone, and it
microphone.
sounds like sex noises. Yes.
Yes, and the dude's got 3.3 million followers. How do you feel about ASMR? Actually,
After
never
we
mind.
showed you the video.
How do you feel about our jokes now after watching that and realizing how big that dude is?
We could at least have 100,000 people. Out.
See? Exactly.
A legitimate movie
Or
star.
Johnny could just get something for his microphone to start painting on it as we talk.
That's
I mean,
that's exactly what we're gonna do if you guys don't start.
call poison control Stormy 8 and 8.
No,
Yeah.
she didn't get a whole eighth. She got like a gram and a half. And
But that's like dispo, so like that stuff's pretty.
So yeah, so my father was deaf. He was really deaf. He was way more deaf than I am, and he had really expensive hearing aids and the kind that go in your ear. He was laying on the couch one day. He would take them off, and he would, when he was watching TV, because he would just crank the TV.
Yeah, of course.
And he always had dogs, different, Weimaraner, short hairs. So he put the, most of the time he would put them in the case, but he just didn't happen to
Just
put
leave them on the
case.
table because it's more convenient, right?
And one of his Weimaraners, she ate one of his hearing aids. And I'm talking, see, mine were 4,000 for two of them.
Yeah,
His were 4,000 a piece.
because he had them expensive hearing aids, so the dog's like perfect.
so I'm just
snack.
not gonna hear is what you mean to
Yeah.
say.
But my dad went to the VA. He did everything to the VA. So the VA was hooking him up with hearing aids. But he still, the dog ate the hearing aids, and she was like, she was whacked out. She was, turning her head and stuff. And you could hear,
Because of
like,
that loud ass frequency, the
Yes.
dog was probably spazzing out with the.
and maybe a little earwax on it. She liked the flavor.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, first of all,
no, ew. Are you talking about the dogs?
the dog's ears. The dog's ears.
So,
when-
all right.
Okay, so we learned this trick from a vet.
I'm
that
so embarrassed
if you-
about this, by the way,
Wait,
that I
so
do
dogs
this.
constantly have to have their ears cleaned, right?
Especially
Yeah.
pitties. It
Especially
comes with it.
pits. They get really bad ear infections. If not, they'll end up with all this inflammation like mange in their ears. Well, the vet told us that if you stick your fingers in the dog's ears and swirl them around, if you jam your hands in the dog's mouth, they'll love the taste of their earwax.
And they do, and it calms them down, and it's
I believe that
weird.
works.
It does, and it not only that, but it actually calms them down. It's
And it
weird,
calms
man.
them down. It's
But-
like their own natural, like
We used to
dog
get a-
earwax Valium.
Like I said, my dad used to breed dogs and raise them and stuff, and Weimaraners and short hairs, they have floppy ears. So
Yeah.
it would be a mess.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of woods, we had
Well,
kennels
yeah, and then they
and
have like
fences.
they get wet and all
But
kinds
the-
of shit gets in
The
there.
ticks would go.
Oh.
Ticks would go.
Yeah.
To where it's nice and warm. So
Yeah.
they would go, and the ticks would be in the ears. We'd have to, it was nasty, but you gotta
I
do-
resembled a fat tick after I ate at Camellia's.
the ticks will you'll hang on till they get like this.
And this is my life.
Yeah, this is why you married me.
This is why I married you.
But yeah, no, that's what we heard from the vet. I was like, it can't be true. And then we tried it, and I was like, oh shit, that is right. That's disgusting.
But
Yeah,
then
it was really
not-
gross.
you don't want to use alcohol like a
No, I
No,
just use
no,
literally, bro.
no.
I hate to say it like this, but usually I just stick my fingers
Give
in
an
her ears when I'm petting
orgasm.
her. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is the only part about it that drives me nuts is that she has like a legit ear, like type of eargasm with it, and it's weird. Like like you ever have like I know it's a dog and it doesn't understand, but like if you ever had a moment with any dog where they do something that's just like way gross, and like you're both awkward about it, like you're both looking at each other like. That's how
Yeah.
I feel. You know what I mean?
I can,
Yeah,
I
like
can-
if a dog shits in
I'll
your
tell-
shoes,
I'll
it's
tell
not
you,
okay.
God.
This is crazy. So when I was a kid, maybe 17 years old, my room was in the basement, and there was two dog kennels down there. And
Yeah.
That's just right when my dad started breeding dogs when I was like 16 or 17. So I had my girlfriend in my room in the basement, and the two kennels were two big sky kennels, so there was a short hair on one side and there was a Weimaraner on the other.
Yeah.
And it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. My girlfriend was sleeping, over, and the Weimaraner kept howling. She was like, woo, woo. She wanted to go out.
Yeah,
And I was back then, I really didn't, I was like, whatever. I'm just
whatever,
so
your
she
dog.
kept crying. She kept crying. She kept crying. My girlfriend was like, let the dog out. You know what I mean? And it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I feel like taking her out of the thing, going upstairs, letting her out in the yard, waiting. So the howls were getting like louder and louder. And all of a sudden, literally, my door was closed, and it was like a half furnished basement. So the other side, all of a sudden, the howling stopped, and she's like, "What happened?" So I went out there, and I look in the kennel, and she was absolutely. It was like chocolate pudding. She was just like
she
covered
finger painted.
all over. I mean, like her whole. I mean, it hit the back of the kennel and then came all up front. It was actually, you know how they have like the grates like near the door.
So would you just burn the house down? Because that's what I'd have done. I'd just been like,
we had to hose the dog down and hose the kennel out. And,
My old dog did
It would have
that.
been a lot easier if I would have just let the dog out. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of spray
I
painted
learned
the
that shit
walls.
from my dad.
our Chihuahua Pietro is house trained.
But a Chihuahua shits like this.
Wait, hear me
No,
out
he
though.
shits all over
It's
the
not
place
even
though.
the shitting though. This is the problem I have.
It's like
He's
a cat.
house trained, but like he doesn't bark to go out like a normal dog. He comes over and you have one shot. He'll come over, he'll sit up on his ass straight up in the air, and he'll go. And if you don't catch that subtle hint and take him out
He'll shit in
immediately,
your
he'll
shoes.
piss all around the house and shit in your shoes. And then I'm firing up carpet. We just bought a brand new carpet shampoo like 2 weeks ago because of this, because we
I
fried.
am such a clean freak. It drives him crazy, but yeah, I'm like, you little asshole.
It's not that you clean that. All right, Johnny, you'll right. You could probably
Animals, you gotta love them, or you know what I mean.
Or
I don't
hate
have
'em.
any-
I know,
don't
and I
have
mean,
any right
and
now.
like I said, man, 3 years, I love her to death.
I brought the animals, so that's
You
my
know,
fault.
I used to have so many animals, and now I don't have any animals, and it's like it's okay because to me, if you have a lot of animals, when something happens to them,
It's
it
horrible.
hurts.
Yeah.
I have
Why put
already.
yourself through that. Some people have fucking 5, 6 animals. You know what I mean? Why do that to yourself? Because eventually they're gonna go.
I've already
what I
like
mean?
come to terms
I mean,
with the
I'm not gonna
fact.
say it like
That
that.
you're gonna like
Yeah, right. It's like
fucking,
welcome to the Good Soup live stream. We love you guys. All your dogs and cats, they're gonna die.
No,
Just letting you know.
No, I don't.
No, I'm kidding, dude. But yo, no, like literally, I've already
This is
come
where
to terms
pets
of.
come
We've
to
actually had
die.
this. Yeah, right. This is where your pets come to die. We talked about this, man. Like when Stormy goes, like, and it's gonna be soon, man. She's almost
old,
she's
yeah.
old. She's gonna have a couple years left at best.
Well,
It's
it's
going to
let
kill
just
me.
try to get- a pit bull lives 12 years.
Well, she's 12 now.
It depends
So-
on her. I mean, she's a trash dog, so I don't know what her life was like before us. So like, she could possibly live to 12 or
She was-
20
Oh, what's
and
stop?
be like blind with so like
Has she
cataracts
ever-
and
has she
Full
ever-
stop.
Has she ever nipped anybody?
yeah. Yeah,
I
she
still got a
is.
scar on my arm for the last time she nipped me.
She's a
So,
nipper.
fun story,
She's a
Valentine-
nipper.
She is a nipper.
Valentine's Day this year, she
bitch
decided to get into
sometimes.
my kid's chocolate heart that I bought her, filled with Russell Stover assorted bullshit chocolates, and she was munching out. I'm sitting in the living room, all of a sudden I hear like the crinkling, and I'm like, "The fuck is that? Where's Kate?" And Kate's in the kitchen with my wife, and I'm like, so I jump up, run to the bedroom. She's munching out on these things.
She like looks up
Yo,
at me,
I didn't.
Chocolate and weed is really not that good for the adult.
especially not together.
So yeah, right. Come in one day, she's gonna be like 800 pounds and stoned off her rocker. You're like, they beat me when you guys aren't around. But yo, no. So I go in there and she's eating them, and I look at her, and I didn't even yell at her yet. I just went to ever so carefully reach for the giant thing of chocolates that I didn't want her to eat, and this dog went after me, and she got me
She wanted her
good.
chocolates, man.
So she broke the skin.
a little bit, but I yoked her up pretty bad after that. I mean, I don't beat her, but like I'm one of those ones that instead of beating her, I'll pick her up by her vest and lift all 80 pounds of her up
and yell at her,
and
in her
yell at her
face, and then put her
until I
back
feel
down,
better.
and then she then she sits there and looks at you.
Yes.
Yeah, so like anytime I may have said this one, but my dad he had a lot of dogs. So the one bit my neighbor's mother twice, and he didn't want to call the cops. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
she had the dog bit his mother so bad that she had to go,
and get stitches.
not stitches, but she had to get. She was cut pretty good.
Oh, we got her in the meat.
So whenever there's a dog bite at a hospital,
Yeah,
the cops have to get involved.
yes, they do,
And my
and
dad
then
was-
they
my
have to
dad
come to
was
your
actually-
house.
My dad was actually pissed at my neighbor because he was like, "Norm, you call the cops on me, man? We've been neighbors for 40 years, 35 years, and you call the cops on me?" And Norm was like, the cops had to get involved. My mother had to go to the hospital for a dog bite.
Listen,
fucking
that happened to my
hellhound.
neighbors and my parents.
And bit
Yes.
my mother, my 75-year-old mother at the time.
Someone said, I want to
Oh.
own animals long enough so I can leave my estate to them. Oh, like Karl Lagerfeld and Leona
The
Helmsley.
purse that I got her for
Yes.
Valentine's Day was a Karl Lagerfeld, and she told me this story. This dude was like a multi-millionaire
He
from
left all his money to his cat.
to a cat. He left the money to a fucking cat, bro. And this is all I'm thinking in my head is like, yeah, that's sweet. And it's like, oh, I want to leave if I become
That's
a
an
millionaire.
expensive pussy.
But that is one expensive pussy. But listen,
Good stuff.
But here's my thing. What you really did was leave the money to whoever the fuck's taking care of the cat. So it's like your cat is like not getting fed in some shitty crate in a basement. Meanwhile, the owner who's in charge of taking care of the cat, Carl, whoever he left the cat to, is driving around like a fucking Ferrari, hammered drunk.
with the cat in the front seat.
The cat's at home in a basement because nobody likes cats.
I know a few people who like cats.
I'm kidding. I'm just.
I'm not crazy about cats. but
I did that to fuck with her. Do you see the look on her face? She was like,
Cats are all right.
"Cats are what's up."
Didn't
Love
Freddie
all
Mercury
animals.
do the same for his cats? I don't know.
I
I
heard.
don't know. Maybe he gave them his teeth. I don't.
It's like when there's nothing worse than when you have like a constipated cat.
Constipated cat. All right. This
Or something gets stuck and you have to
It's
pull it
stuck.
out.
No, it's
we are
stuck in
officially
there.
off the fucking rails.
This is the whole point of this freaking podcast.
Scooting across the road.
Oh,
trying to
dude.
get the turd off.
Not as much as yours. Nice.
Yeah, no, our dogs,
Um,
they rub their asses. I can't.
So
What do you got? What do we got going on here?
we got a lot, but I'm a little special.
Ooh, let's talk about Bill's bipolar time machine. So we were. What
No,
movie
you know
were we
what?
watching?
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of you picking on me, man. No, I'm. So, dude, I was watching. You ever see the movie Parallel?
It's about you live.
It's
in
a shitty movie on Amazon, but it's actually really good. But like, I don't mean it's a shitty movie. I mean like,
I thought it was okay.
it was a good movie. But if you scroll through the Amazon menu, you know how like you see them and you're like, that's B-rated as fuck. Like just by the picture, you're judging it already. Like if you see Bruce Willis in anything these days, it's going to be a space movie, and it was going to be made on like $85.
He used to be the man.
He is the man, but for some reason now he's just decided to be in
He's like Nicolas
everything.
Cage.
It doesn't matter what it is.
I saw she made me watch a movie the other night. I saw some of it, but it was The Ruins, where these kids go to Mexico.
Yes, I seen
That's a
that one, and
good-ass
then
movie.
they can't get off the
And
damn
she's-
thing.
And she's literally, because the vine
Yep.
goes.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That was a little.
I
was
like that. I like
Hostel.
those movies. I love Hostel.
Yeah,
I
but
love
now
that
that's
movie. You
another-
know what the classification of those movies is called? It's called gore porn. The actual classification. That's why Eli Roth actually made an actual class of it called gore porn, and it's
Gore porn.
I'll watch it all day
Well,
long.
when I was a kid, there was like, what was it like? It was really weird. It was blood sucking freaks. There was a one called Galaxy.
Who's
of
sucking
Terror.
what?
Galaxy of Terror.
Galaxy of
Terror.
Terror. Planet Terror.
Easiest-
Are you talking about Planet Terror where she's got the gun for a leg?
No, he's talking about when he was
No,
a kid, not
Planet
when
Terror.
you
I
were a
remember that
kid.
one. That was cool. That was yeah. With the
Rose
zombies.
McGowan.
And what's his name had the his tongue was like one of the No Country for Old Men. What's the guy's name?
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin. Yeah, he was like a doctor or something right in that, and then he was and the zombies were like his
Oh my
tongue
God,
was
he's
like-
right. Damn, dude. You know what? It's funny. I talk a lot of shit, but I haven't seen that movie in years. But now that you're saying it,
That was like
my
a
brain's
double
putting it
feature
together
with,
through all the bong
with the
resin.
other one we were talking about Kurt Russell, right? It was a double feature.
Oh
with
my
Devil.
God,
There's
Death
Planet
Proof
Terror
is
and,
yeah.
and Death,
Death
Proof.
Proof was one of my favorite
Robert
movies.
Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino.
I mean, come on, you got a view askew diverse person who we're not gonna
I used to be
beating the
really,
shit out of
really
Kurt
good.
Russell. What more could you ask for in life? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
really,
true.
That movie right here.
Yeah.
The yeah, so I was, I watched. What was I watching the other night?
The
Last
Hostels
night
are the
or night
best.
before, Weekend at Bernie's. I'm like, why are you
Oh,
making me watch Weekend
Weekend at Bernie's is such a good movie,
It
though,
is.
but it
It
is
was
so
funny, just-
wrong.
You know what I
And
mean?
he would
Oh, it's
smell
G-Bit.
so bad in real life.
Cheap as- Yo, I was about to get heated up in this stream.
That's the one who does all of our artwork is
Yes.
saying that she wants to have my baby. Go for it, girlfriend.
All the dented can logos that you see as of right now, and the Good Soup live stream logo, and the new one that I showed you, the
That's actually
maybe
pretty awesome. I
dented
cannot
Batman
wait.
logo, that is all Cheap
Cheap
It. So that's her in this group. Reach out to her. She does killer artwork. That's what's up.
Nice work. Nice work.
Yes.
What were we just talking about?
Your
Weekend at
bipolar
Bernie's?
time machine
Bipolar
and,
time
and Weekend
machine.
at Bernie's.
Yo, so like I'm sitting back and I'm literally actually in the middle of trying to do some stuff for the show. And I'm watching that movie Parallel. And in the movie, spoiler alert, there's a group of
Friends. It's always a group
like
of friends.
20s friends, yeah, and they're like trying to develop some shitty parking mate app or some shit and sell it,
Yes.
and it's failing miserably, and someone's cutting their throat, like they do, developing a protagonist, if you will. Anyway, they find a mirror in the attic of this house that apparently leads to an alternate dimension.
But you
with
have
time.
to turn it a certain way for it to actually like be able to catapult
Yeah.
you into the extra realm of bullshit.
So I'm really into this.
the
at this-
bullshit realm, yes.
the Parallel movie.
Parallel.
It's on Amazon. It's free right now. That's why I downloaded it because
There's probably a reason it's free.
Yeah,
It
you
was
can
good.
waste you can waste like 7 brain cells watching it, but I saw the gears going in his head when I
Yeah, so
walked in the
she's-
bedroom
but-
the other day, and I'm like, don't tell me you're gonna try and fucking build a time machine. He's like, what? I don't. Yeah, and I'm like,
So listen though, but if you actually, I've heard that if you take the platinum out of a catalytic converter and you mix no
and you put it on the back of a DeLorean.
on the back of and you have to get it.
You have a lot of ambition.
No, listen, but I
But
really
this leads us to another story that we have.
and this is where this was really going is that she's fed up with my bullshit because like all right, so like I get hyper fixated on things.
It's part of being ADHD.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I don't get hyper fixated like most people. I'm also the most persistent person you've ever met. I'm being honest. I don't allow.
That's how you got me.
That's how I got her. She was the nurse at a fucking rehab that I was at. And then what? A year later, we were moving in together. Yeah, they basically let's cut out all the middle trimmings and let's just call it what it is. Fucking rehab. You were nice to me. Used to sneak me in Walmart sandwiches and coffee.
And
Then I married you.
Yeah.
And that's how it worked. Because they what they say apparently is true. The fastest way to a man's heart
Is food.
is with Wawa food when he's in rehab because that shit is fucking disgusting. Do you understand me?
So let's get back to the case in point.
So case in point, I like to fixate. So,
When the pandemic started, he started watching
Oh,
Mad Max
please no.
Fury Road. And he became
Oh.
like way fixated on the stupid Mad Max, like motorcycles and cars. And
'Cause
he's
they
like,
were
oh, this is
dope.
awesome.
who here in this room right now with the comments? Who here doesn't the newer
That's
one?
the one with Charlize Theron
Tom Hardy?
and Tom Hardy.
No, I didn't see
What?
the thing.
So
Okay.
good.
So we're watching Mad Max, and I can see the gears turn, and I'm like, no.
Yes.
So he's like,
Yes.
I'm gonna buy a motorcycle. I'm like, what the fuck? So he's like, and then he buys this shitbox Honda that you could never tell it's a Honda because it's been spray painted. So we drive to
Hold on. Pause.
No, wait,
pause.
wait.
Pause.
We drive
Pause.
to Kensington to get this thing in the middle of a drive-by shooting, mind you.
Dude, I'm loading it on the trailer and they lit up the house next to where I was buying it. So when my dumb ass jumps, I'm at the bottom of the trailer, the bike's on its side. Kensington, Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the hood. I mean, in the ghetto. Like ghetto enough to where when I pulled in, the cops were like, "What are you doing here with a trailer?" I'm like,
Because
"I
he's
bought
like
a bike."
white bread.
He's like, "Get it and get the fuck out of here." That was the cops' word.
So he's trying to strap this thing on the back of the trailer. There's a drive-by going on. It's already kind of Mad Max looking to begin with because it's like super 80s
Let me
ghetto.
explain. Let me explain. So the bike was a it was a 1989 Honda Pacific what was it? 800, right?
Yeah.
A PC 800. So it was called the
I'll show
Pacific
you
Coast.
what it
It looked like the George Jetson bike
Yes, it did.
until I stripped it down and turned it into the Mad Max bike. And we will post pictures with this on Facebook for this
on the
with
dented
of it.
or the dented can and on.
I'll post them all across the Facebook stuff. That'll show you what it looked
But
like
it
when I was
didn't
done.
look like that.
I built it at a hardware
That
store.
actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should have seen what I did to it.
So
though.
we took it to a hardware store and he
We
got
didn't
like
take it to a hardware store. I went to the hardware store and bought stuff.
bought like hoses and like PVC pipe and LED lights and like he got like I want to say it was like cage wrapping. He spent weeks working on this bike and it
Yo.
would stall when he would ride it.
was-
It would
It
slow.
looked dope as hell, but it was a flaming piece of shit. Like the thing did, the clutch was blown in it. It was, but it
So
looked cool.
our bipolar project was the bike, which
Yeah.
eventually we ended up selling. And
I
then
made a
we-
profit on
wait,
that
It
bike.
gets better. We moved to back to New Jersey, and we start getting these tickets in the mail from Delaware Easy Pass. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? The kid that he sold the bike to never took the original plates off the bike. So we keep getting tickets, and there's
Yo.
a picture, and on the picture, it has a Pagan's motorcycle logo on the back of this dude's jacket, and he's on a trike.
But wait, hold up, slow down. Let's talk about this one more thing. First off, I want you guys to understand that I'm going to do nothing about these tickets at all in any way, shape,
Well, we
or
already
form.
have a police
And
report
here is
filed,
why.
but-
Ready? Because what she just said on the back of this jacket said the Pagans, and I was like, yeah, we're not gonna fuck with him. He can have that plate, and I'll just pay the ticket.
But there was a license plate from the Mad Max bike that is now on a Pagan's trike that's
Yo,
blowing tolls in
Dog,
Delaware.
dog,
and I'm
this
like,
dude was bigger than all three of us put together. Do you understand how big this guy was? Like
see how this
Yeah,
whole
those
story
guys-
comes
those guys
full
are cool.
circle.
Those are good guys, right? They're nice. guys.
Pagans? I mean, yeah, unless you
Oh,
fucking
I gotta
piss
do
them
it.
off.
I gotta do it. They're the type of people that say that's messed up.
They are. They are 110% the messed up type. We're gonna get shot by the fucking Pagans. Anyway, so yeah, so I hyperfixate. I built the Mad Max bike, and then the next thing was my daughter. Now I'm a drummer, and my daughter came to me. And she at the time was 3. She's like, "Bill, I want a drum set. Well, I mean, what are you going to say? You can't say no to that. So 2 weeks before Christmas, I go to the store. I spend $450 on the Questlove Ludwig drum set. That's for kids, but it also
And
extends
it's
to
in
be for
Frozen
adults.
colors. It was in Frozen 2 colors, so it was maroon.
Yes. And it was all sparkly and shit.
Yes.
So we get it. And then I'm like, well, I got my drum set. She's got her drum set. Really, we have to set a place up down in the basement for us to practice. So I go on a 6-month binge, dude. I'm buying everything. Dude, I had an entire stage set up in my basement. As a matter of fact, my basement was a full-blown recording studio.
In a basement.
It's a recording studio.
I'm sorry.
It's a
That was
recording
loud.
studio.
I'm sorry. It was a basement.
It's a command center, Mom!
It's a basement in Maryland that smells
Did
like
you catch the nod?
straight ass. But yeah, that's what he did.
That was a nod
I-
to your boy, to your cousin, bro, with the fucking Die Hard, Live Free or Die Hard. It's a command station, Mom.
That basement
that was,
was,
that was almost
so
like,
crowded with shit in there. We had a piano,
What
2
about the
drum
meatloaf?
sets.
Mom,
The
meatloaf.
ma,
Oh, God,
ma,
from
the
what that
meatloaf.
dude-
Ma.
Yo, you gotta understand, man. I was in high school when that movie came
Which
out.
one?
The one he's talking about with the Wedding Crashers. Yo, you had to understand that was it. Like you couldn't hear, and you walk through the halls. That's all you would hear. Ma, the meatloaf. We want it now.
That's like in the early 90s when
What's up, Brian? Sorry, Brian Scott is hitting us up.
All right.
Yeah.
What's up, dude? The when Goodfellas first came out in 1990.
Oh my God, that was the
everybody
Christmas
like,
movie.
I'm gonna get the papers. The papers.
The papers.
Oh,
the papers.
God. Yo,
That was
listen.
that was said more than anything else in that movie.
I hope to God that my former partner and father hears this and doesn't get upset. But like literally, man, you don't understand. My dad watched that movie every fucking night
Did your dad
for
think
like
he was Ray Liotta?
9 years, every single
I mean, it
night,
was a
bro.
great movie.
I know every line to that movie back and forth, and I'm gonna tell you a little secret. You ready? I don't like that fucking movie. I don't like it. It's stupid. It makes no sense to me.
So my
It's like it's about a
father-
snitch. Like
Alright.
if this was any other point of reality, that motherfucker would have been in a hole that day. I'm like, you know, he's bitching that his pasta sucks at the end of the movie. It's like you're lucky you're breathing, motherfucker.
Well, Henry Hill. I mean, I think he was more paranoid that the cop or the fucking police were flying in helicopters.
And then fucking what's it,
out
who made that
brain.
movie? What's the guy's name who made that? Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Yeah, and then he went on to make that same fucking movie for the rest of his career, just over and over and
With
over
different
and
actors.
over.
Casino was pretty bad.
Because they
I
were
mean,
good.
The Departed was
No,
pretty
that
good,
one-
but everybody died. I mean,
Savages was awesome. I love that movie.
Which one?
Savages. That was another one of his where they were weed dealers.
That was the one where everybody sleeps together.
Yo, leave my poly movie alone. My poly weed movie. It's actually a perfect print. I mean, guys, who wants to fund the Good Soup live crew to make a poly weed movie?
No, you can get.
I mean,
your
not
own
with us
funding.
acting in it, bro. We just make it.
What do you mean? Everybody smoke reefer and have
Yeah.
sex?
Yeah, there-
Savages.
see, you got it.
I'm talking
You
to
got it.
our esteemed,
Christian,
amazing
have you
audio
ever
tech
seen Savages.
with Taylor Kish and the guy who
Blake
played
Lively.
the guy who played Kick Ass. Yeah, and then it's also got Blake Lively in it, and they're both smashing Blake Lively. They're like a little trio of weed salesmen and sex.
And you want to make a movie like that?
Well, I mean, it did well for him, bro. That movie was
I mean, for
it
them,
sold
it did
well.
well.
What about when Blake Lively was surfing?
Which movie was that? Was she
Isn't
was
that
surfing
The
in?
shark.
Oh, where she gets like chewed up and like spit out.
Oh
And
my god.
no,
No.
no, he's talking about the Crush. Was that her in Crush?
No.
Oh. Yes, that's it.
That's
47 meters down, right?
No,
No.
no. This was like where she was like in a cove.
Oh, I'm
somewhere in
in.
a cove in Mexico.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
at the end, she was on the buoy. She was hanging on the buoy. And
Well,
the
Christian
shark-
looks for that, though. I think we need to do the sponsorship
Oh, we
spots.
do.
have a lot of sponsors to talk about. We are brought to you solely and only by
Sponsors.
Smodcastle.
Sponsors.
What is it called?
The
Shallows.
The Shallows. That's it.
The Good Soup Live is brought to you by Smodcastle in Leonardo, New
Smodcastle.
Jersey. And by the way, guys, we don't say this often enough, but you guys should really what we do here is not like I caught a lucky break and whatnot. You know, you can do this too. This place is for rent. You can rent it out
You can
to
come
film
and do
your
your
events.
podcast here
Yeah,
too. And
and
get up
all you
on
got to do
stage.
is hit up the website and you'll get all the info. I'll link it in the description as
or
well.
you could do your podcast and we can come and hang out and
or they could
and
just do,
heckle you.
or you could just do the podcast and leave us out. It's all good. We're brought to you in part by Hetty Candles.
Hetty Candles.
Hetty Candles.
Hi, Hetty Candles.
And there is the dented can pineapple coconut candle, which you can buy on Hetty Candles
Smells
website,
amazing.
hettycandles.com. 20% off if you use the code Good Soup at checkout.
Yes. So that's our
and that's
sponsors.
it. We don't have any other sponsors today because the other two they're still trying to get their stuff started up and running. So they're more than welcome to come back.
And if you have a small business and would like to sponsor us or be mentioned, go
You
right
can
ahead
reach
and
out,
reach out to us.
on any one of the Facebook profiles, or you could just go to Gmail and it's adentedcan420@gmail.com. You can email me. We are always looking, but we won't back products unless we review them first. We don't just blindly back anything. I don't like doing that. I
No.
want to back stuff I actually believe in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Like Hetty Candles and Bucky's Odor Eliminators, we
Amazing.
have them all over the house.
Yeah, no, I legit
and I
use that
talk
shit
about
too.
them every podcast. Every time the dog farts or burps in my face, they're getting a spray right around them. So
Step Brothers ruled my high school era. I know it. Old school Step Brothers, pretty much anything by Will Ferrell back then.
I'm
was
streaking.
I wasn't crazy about
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers.
It had its.
Oh,
it
the
had its-
Catalina wine mixer is my favorite.
the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Ricky Bobby was way better
Yes.
than that.
I
Ricky
like-
Bobby's one of my favorite.
I like when he looks at the very end and he looks at him and he's like, at the end of Step Brothers, and he's like, but there's something about your face. It just makes me want to punch it. So you're gonna have to do something.
I
about
wish
that.
I could say that
my
to some people
favorite
on
part
the
of the whole
daily.
movie.
That would be great. Just walk up to them, something about your face makes me want to punch it. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, your job. I get it.
So what else do we have on our list of stuff
I'm
to talk
working
about
on
here?
it. So we wanted to get because it did really well on the first two episodes. Has 420 in the name, but you'll judge sponsors. Can't wait until it's federal. No, I don't mean judge sponsors as in. Listen, I'm all about I push up cannabis. I've advocated for its legalization. I've advocated on its medical uses. I do have my medical card. And we're in a legal state anyway, but that's not what I mean. I just mean like I don't want to go throwing out
Stuff that we haven't either.
like
A,
I don't want to
tried or
to
B,
endorse
laid our eyes on it.
I don't want
So-
to endorse blind products. Like I want stuff that I like, that I'll buy and try. And if we love it, like we love Hetty Candles, I'll back it 100%. But it's just I don't know. A lot of
Yeah,
these
that makes sense.
internet ambassador programs that they come up with, they'll send, I get 100 of them a day. They'll send you these emails to back their product. And it's like, oh, well, you'll get this and you'll get this and you'll get this much of the profit. But then you look into the product and it's shit. And I'm like, I'm not ripping off my fans. I don't give a shit what the payout is. It's just not who I am.
All right.
And that came off a little harsher than I meant it.
Ethical.
Stay happy, ethical. I care about you guys. That's why we're here, because we care. We want to help.
Yes.
So yes, I will back products 100% that I love, but Elon Musk likes 420 and 69. I know.
Speaking of
Elon Musk
all right,
is awesome.
we
with
were
that.
actually just had this conversation. Do you know what his kids' names are that he had with Grimes?
Guess what? Neither do I, because you can't pronounce them
pronounce
because they're
them.
not real letters. It's all like
It's like
ancient Greece
No.
Sanskrit. He named his kids in Sanskrit, buddy.
No, he didn't. It's Old English where the A and the E are connected. One is
that?
like Dark Angel XIE something or
I mean, but then
another.
again, you got to think about this logically. He's
It's Elon
Elon
Musk.
fucking Musk.
Okay,
He'll name
the
his
other
kid whatever
thing
he
you know about
wants.
him-
Doesn't matter.
He lives in a tiny house that's on the property of the SpaceX, and he actually rents it. He doesn't own his own home.
What they don't tell
Period.
you about is that it has a
So, I was just reading
37-story
this
deep
article.
basement lab.
Where he goes in like Dr. Evil.
Dude, he's so funny. Like goes down in the
Cat.
elevator, all of a sudden his hair falls off. He's got that chrome thing. You know,
Yeah, the old Austin.
right?
Powers,
Dude, he's got a little one running next to him and shit.
That's his kid, see? And he calls it AEC.
He's got no hair either.
Bleep, blarp, blarp. Yeah.
Doesn't he have his own rail system?
You guys are wild tonight.
I am a little amped up. I'm sorry, man. I had a lot of coffee.
all right. It's good.
So yeah, we wanted to, because it did well last time, Johnny. I wanted to see if you had another story about filming.
Yeah, I mean, which
any
one-
kind of fun
The
thing
one
about
that-
when
the
you were out
one that,
filming.
the one that stands out the most would be, Jersey Girl was like was really cool because it was like 2 days of filming,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, I was.
Now, did you film it in Jersey?
It was I want to say it was it was right on the border of it was Borough, like not it was right across from Pennsylvania, but on the Jersey side.
Oh, what is that? You
What,
know
like
what?
Water Gap?
No,
it
by
was Philly was like really close, and it was because we stayed at the
Like
me and my
Glassboro?
pops, we stayed at the Radisson in Philly, all the way up on.
Paulsboro. Oh my!
Paulsboro.
I had like 4
Yeah.
family members that lived in
Yeah.
Paulsboro. I'm from Philly. I can't.
So yeah, so that was cool.
Bullshit.
And I
Delaware
remember
County.
the omelets. They were making me omelets. They were like,
Did they put Scrapple in them?
oh my god, they were saying anything you want in your omelet. I mean anything. Like I was,
Dude,
like, wow.
Scrapple is literally the equivalent of taking an entire chicken with the feathers and
No,
just
it's not
throwing it
chicken.
into a
It's
blender.
a pig. It's a pig part.
You don't know what that is. It's a patty of dark and light spots that never burns, doesn't get runny, doesn't get crispy,
So good.
and always smells
like bone.
fucking terrible.
But go ahead, keep telling your Jersey
Sorry.
Girl story.
But yeah, so the food was really wild, and I got to meet George Carlin, and
Oh, I would love to
That's
meet that
dope.
He gave
Carlin.
me a book. He signed a book for my pops, and
That's dope.
That's cool.
And it was funny because the trailer, I had a normal trailer, and my pops was like, "Oh, I told you maybe there was my name was actually on the door, and
Oh.
it wasn't like written in marker. It was like my name." And my pops was like, "Oh, you finally made it, boy! You made it." And what year was that? That was like 2004.
Yeah.
And but then there was this giant double wide, like right next to mine, but off to the side, like giant. And I asked the woman, I said, whose trailer is that? She's like, oh, that's Ben's. And I'm like, hey. It was like 4 of mine, but that's all right. I still felt pretty cool,
So I guess it goes by the size of your trailer when you're an actor.
kind of.
Don't even say it. Don't.
Ern
Do
had-
not go there.
Big Ern had a couch in his.
Big Ern had a couch in the trailer.
Yeah.
We got a green room before we come on the show. It's really cool. It's back there. They have a dented can guy on the refrigerator
I saw
And
that.
there's some-
Pretty sweet.
There's
It must have been
some
taking
snacks.
time to make it.
and such. I believe there's some raisins.
I was just gonna say something about
California
Jersey Girl,
raisins.
and you just
Sorry, Jersey
hear-
Girl. I'm
you're in my
sorry. I'm
ear.
sorry.
Jersey Girl was it was cool.
you know
We
I
went
said
to,
that's one of the few movies I have not seen.
Jersey
we
Girl.
went to
Yeah.
I've seen
we
it.
went to the Ziegfeld Theater
Yeah.
in Manhattan for the
Right.
premiere, and then we wound up at the Hard Rock Cafe in Manhattan.
I
for-
love that one.
that's
The one in
dope.
Times
that was
Square.
cool. And
That
who's
one's
the little
cool.
guy? What's the guy's name that used to interview people? He was like short, and he was like, I remember I was talking to him for a second. Lipton, James Lipton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
wow.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I was. But he
That's
was,
so
I don't know what he was
cool.
doing.
We
He
have an
wasn't like,
official
Will Ferrell used to
Hollywood
do,
celebrity here with us. That's crazy.
come
Yeah,
on,
you are.
I met a few people.
Okay, is George Carlin, was he
Just a
tall?
few.
Was he short in person? Was he small?
George Carlin.
Yeah.
He's like average, right? He's
Was
like,
he
George Carlin's
average? I
kind of
feel
a-
like he was on the smaller
A
side.
little small.
I mean,
like some people
especially-
say I'm tall, but I'm just 6 foot. You know what I mean? I'm 6
I'm
foot.
just 6 foot.
No,
I'm
I'm
5'1".
just 6 foot. That's
That's what I'm saying, though. See, but you have to understand, man. For what we think is like short or tall, she's a bona fide like leprechaun midget. So to her, everybody looks tall. No, you
Evil
have who it
leprechaun.
is.
you're 5. You're what, 5'2"?
I'm
5'1".
5'1".
5'1".
Yes.
That's not-
I have some lift to my shoes. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
And the red hair, bud. Listen, I told you there's a all right. So there's a new effect on TikTok that gives you a big scar in your eye and your lip. And I made her do it and laugh. Bro, you literally thought you were watching Chucky.
He's like, all you need is
She
a
looked
pair of
just like-
overalls and a rainbow shirt. I'm like, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
You know what I mean? It was cool.
No, he's not wrong. Dude, I've literally had her busting up laughing and loaded up Chucky laughing and played it. You can't tell the fucking difference. They sound identical.
No.
See,
Yeah.
the one thing about doing like movies with Kev and stuff, and it's not reality, right? I'm on a movie set. I'm like, I'm feeling great. Everybody's like, oh my god. They're like, do whatever, they're kissing your butt and doing this.
I'd
whatever.
probably be eating all the food.
But
That's what
then
my
the
feelings.
food is awesome. The food is that's like one of the best parts.
That's what I would be.
Oh,
I'd be in the
I bet.
food supply.
But when you have to come back to reality, it's tough. You know what I mean? When you have to go,
Oh, I bet.
I was, go home and then just be like, my ex-girlfriend starts yelling at me again and stuff.
And you're like, where's my trailer at?
Yo,
I know. It's like, back to.
You put a
I hear
sign on
you.
your own door.
Yo, literally, I hear you, man. We have the same thing. Like, I know we're not by any means famous at the yet.
We're not even New Jersey
you're
famous
wild
yet.
enough- You're wild enough to get there, man. You just might get it, man.
But even with this, like, I enjoy being up here. I told you, man, this is what I love, is being up talking, entertaining people or whatever you want to call what we're doing up here. Fucking off. A lot.
Pseudo
But-
entertainment.
But you know what it is, man? Like, I have that same problem. Like, I'll get home and so tonight is this, and then tomorrow I suit up, man, and I get on that rig, and like we'll get to calls, and like the punchline is just like right there, but the person's like on the floor like this, so you can't joke. So you're just sitting there trying not to look like an
What if
idiot,
what if you had to
laughing
tell
at
a
yourself.
joke to somebody to save their ass? chance. You know what I mean? What if?
I mean, in that
Oh, I
rare
would be perfect with
scenario,
that.
like, all right, believe it. All right, listen, guys, I got some bad news for you. If you're a big fan of Patch Adams, laughter is not going to heal like, getting cut in half by a car. That it's not
No.
going to work. I promise. I can make you laugh all day. You're still going to die.
All right, so I got a story for you. So I work obviously in a surgical center. I don't really talk about work that often, but so somebody had made a bagel in the kitchen. This was years ago. And someone made a bagel in the kitchen. I'm starting an IV in the pre-admission
remember this.
area. And I'm like, the fire alarm starts going off. And I'm like, is this fucking real? As I'm sticking the patient. And they're like, yeah, it's real. And I smell smoke. So I'm like, oh shit, let's get the patients out. So it's a legit
You have to
fire
get
alarm.
All the freaking patients out.
But
for
we
a
have to
bed
take them
bug?
out on the stretchers.
Oh,
So
boy.
the patients are coming out fully sedated and we have them in the parking lot. And all of a sudden the patients wake up and it's about 13 degrees out. It's February and we've got them all covered up with blankets. And the woman looks up and all she sees is a blue sky. She goes, am I dead? I said, no, you're in the
You could have
parking
had
lot.
so much fun with that. You should have walked up and be like, and how do you
mean? I'm
feel
in the
about your
parking lot."
judgment?
Yeah. She's like, what do you mean I'm in the parking lot? I'm like, well, somebody lit the toaster oven on fire. And unfortunately, you're out here
See,
now.
I think they should have just.
That's who lit the toaster oven on
So
fire,
we got
guys.
this was like 3 years ago. We got our toaster oven taken away from us. And then recently somebody burnt popcorn and we had the same scenario happen. So they almost took our microwave away.
So
No,
you
it
guys-
was
you
not
guys-
me.
You guys are in the medical field.
Yes.
And,
Sucks.
and
Don't do it.
that's, you got to have. I can I handle blood? No, I don't think I can handle blood. I remember one time I was a wild, like I said, I was a wild kid. So I was drinking. My room was in the basement, like I said before, with the dogs.
Right.
So I was drinking in the basement, and a lot of cans, no bottles, drinking, Budweiser.
Were they
I drank-
pool
I drank
tops? We had to
everything.
peel them back.
No, not quite that old, but not old, not that bad.
Damn.
So
Yo,
I,
you be heartless as hell sometimes, man.
damn, I remember those pop tops.
Hey, Ange, do me a favor. Can you go get me some ice for my drink? You could chip it away from your heart if you can find it.
Yeah. And
Black
so I
hole
kept throwing
song.
I had friends over, my girl, we were just drinking and we're just throwing the beers in my closet. Just throwing them in my
You have a
closet.
whole closet full of beer cans?
So my dad goes down there one day and says, he wanted to get a tie. So he opens up my closet and all these. My dad,
Holy
was
shit!
sober. If my dad didn't die, he would have been. If my dad didn't die, he would have been sober for 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so he was ready to fuck you up for that.
All the beer cans. So I'm on the couch. I think I just came back home from work. This was like 90. I want to say like 1990. Holy crap. Were you guys born yet?
In
Yeah, I was
1990?
10.
Damn, bro, I ain't that young.
You were like 4.
I was 6.
Yeah, you weren't even born yet. So there's
Our
that.
technician didn't even exist in 19. That's how you know this is a good show. He's young enough to not exist at that point.
but Big Aaron was 28 already.
So what did your dad do when he
So
opened it up?
so my dad had his robe on. He opens up the closet. All the beer cans hit him in the legs, and he had,
Whoa.
oh,
He looks so. Why you look mad, dog?
Oh, snap! So he had his robe on. My sister was upstairs. I was on the couch. So my dad freaking tells me to get off the couch. I was just, I got home from work, and he's like, "What did I tell you about the beer cans?" And I just walked, and he was behind me, and he kicked me in the ass, but not kicked me like this. He kicked me like
Straight in the ass crack?
with his, in the hole.
In the hole.
Did he get his toe stuck up there?
He's talking shit.
Yeah, don't start, Ange.
And so I turn around and he's like, what did I tell you about the beer cans? He's like, you're a drunk. And I'm like, that was like in 1990. I was like 19 years old.
Like everybody's a drunk.
And
At 19.
and he was, we're right in the doorway, and he's like calling me a drunk home, and I said, you're a drunk. I called him a drunk. All of a sudden, his eyes glazed over, and I'm like, oh boy, I don't know.
I fucked
So
up.
He hit me so fast. He played racquetball for years.
Oh, God.
And he hit me so fast that I didn't even see it. Like,
So your head became that little
he
blue
hit me-
ball.
He hit me like right here, and he hit me so hard that he kept going and blew like the molding off the thing. And all of a sudden, I stepped back. I'm like, my dad was big. My dad was 6'4".
Yeah.
And so I put up my dukes. I I literally just got rocked. You know what I mean? I got hit plenty of times in my life, but that was a hell of a shot. I didn't go down, but I was like, holy shit. So I put up my dukes to defend myself. And all of a sudden I just feel
the warm rush of blood.
The warm just coming. I mean, like bad because he split the the bone right there. And he's, and he's screaming. My dad couldn't stand blood either. So he starts screaming for my sister. He's like, Rachel, call the cops. Your brother's getting crazy. And I'm getting crazy. I just got, you know what I mean? And then he's like, take him to Central State. Or it wasn't Central State. It was, what the hell was it? Freehold area back then.
Oh boy. That was when I was still little. That was before they built the whole thing on the back end of that thing.
He's like, take him to the hospital. Get him stitched up. I was like, screw you. And forget both of you. I went to my
I tried that.
You and
I tried that too. I was
flagged me. His stepfather.
Did they put some crazy glue on you?
Yeah, I was fucked up. Though.
I got drunk with one of my buddies. He came back from Iraq, and we're gonna get off in about 2 minutes. But anyway, we got no nasty. We have to today because fuck, what was I saying? So my buddy, we went out drinking after he had gotten home from Iraq with the Marine Corps, and it was right like literally a block from his house.
Were you in the?
Fuck no.
No, he went to MEPS, but other than that, he didn't make it past MEPS.
Yeah, I wish, dude. I'd probably be like stacked. But anyway, regardless, we got into a wreck, and I busted my eyebrow open, but I was drunk when I got to the hospital, and they're like, we're going to stitch you. And I'm like, fuck you, you ain't stitching shit. And that's why I have a scar right there.
Yeah, he's got one. I got one over here. I smashed myself in the head with a light
No,
bulb.
but I mean, it could have been not there if I wasn't being a drunken jackass for no reason. And on that drunken jackass note, we are going to sign off. Our esteemed technician has a very important meeting that we want to let him get to. We will be back next Monday at 7:00. Brought to you by Jesus Christ. Brought to you by the Smodcastle. And we want to shout out Zoom. We want to shout out Shure microphones because they're just so nice and pretty. Yeah, they don't work when you talk back here though. Sure.
Okay today.
Work on it.
I like them. I think your mic was on point tonight.
All right.
I think we use the corny
We also
tagline.
want to thank our sponsor, Hetty Candles and Child's Play Charity. Check them out. All proceeds go to them.
And I think I found a tagline to sign off with. We're going to, at the end of the show, it's going to be, and just remember, no matter how dented the can, it's always good soup.
Or botulism.
Or botulism. Goodbye.
All right. Take care.